Trevor, I've had some news about my legs. I might not be able to walk for the rest of my life. The doctor told me today.
Wow. Does that mean you'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life?
That's right. Apparently, there's a very strong chance. And that's how most cases like this end up. Of course, I'll still give the rehab everything I've got. But there's one more thing. I might not be able to have children anymore, Trevor.
I see. Do you know when you'll be getting discharged?
They say it could be at least 2 months, and that's the early estimate. Ugh, Trevor, this doesn't feel real. I can't believe I got hit by someone playing games on their phone while driving. Not just that, but the driver died in the crash. So I can't even take all this frustration and sadness I'm feeling out on anyone. I know it's not his family's fault, and they're probably suffering too. But when I look at my legs, I just want to scream.
I understand. But I'm just relieved you're still alive, Clarissa.
Thank you.
That reminds me, I've been doing some thinking. If we do some renovations on that place, we can install ramps and things to make it suitable for wheelchair use.
Come on, Trev. I already told you we can't live in that house. My dad wrote clearly in his will that I was only to manage it, and I'm not to move in under any circumstances. We can always look for another place, but can we at least wait until I get discharged from the hospital before we discuss this?
What? Why would we look for another place when you got given a free house? Not only that, but it's big and luxurious, and right near the station to boot. I always wanted to live in a house like that, even if just once. Can we just live there for a little while? Please?
No way. Even if it's only temporary, we can't. Trevor, please, just give up on the house. Will you? For me? I have enough on my plate right now with coming to terms with being in a wheelchair for the rest of my life and rehab. Let's think about our living situation when I get out of the hospital, okay? Trevor, what have you done? Beth from next door sent me an email saying you moved into the house. What's going on?
Huh? Did you already find out? Whoopsie!
What the hell are you playing at? You didn't seriously move in behind my back, did you?
Well, how do I put this? Yes, I did. Come on, babe. It's so wasteful. It makes no sense having a nice big house like this that we don't have to pay rent on, just wasting away getting old without anyone in it. A lot of people would kill to be in this situation.
How many times have I told you? We can't live in that house. No one can live in that house. I even hid the key. Did you go out of your way to find it?
Yeah, what was that all about? You really made me work. I can't believe you hid it in the back of the drawer like that. I was really shocked when you went to such lengths to stop me getting a hold of it.
I hid it to stop exactly this from happening. Oh, I'm begging you, Trevor, please, get out of that house immediately. I'm serious.
Why do you have to be like that? It has a big garden with a fountain, and the living room is enormous. I could really see us building a life here. It would be plain criminal that a house this grand go to waste.
I'm seriously begging you here, Trevor. We can't live there. What do I have to do to make you listen? If you've already moved your stuff in there, then I get it. It'll take time to get it all back out. But can't you at least stay at your mom's for a little while until it's all been dealt with?
No can do. My mom's living here too.
What? What the hell?
My mom's gonna be living here too. She really likes it. Plus, I feel bad for her having her live all alone in that old apartment of hers. She gets lonely, you know. It would hardly be fair for me to live in a big luxurious house like this while my poor mom slums it out in a cheap apartment.
You've left me no choice here, Trevor. I'm calling the police. I'll tell them you broke in.
Whoa now! Slow down, woman! Jeez! Why would you do something so insane? What the hell's gotten into you? God, you're the stingiest person I've ever met. Why the hell are you like this? Actually, I got a pretty good idea. I bet you were plotting to sell the house and keep all the money to yourself, weren't you?
What are you talking about?
I bet you're surprised I've got you all figured out, huh? I'm a very smart guy, Clarissa, and I can spot a scheming tightwad from a mile away. Your dad's inheritance money, the compensation from the accident, and finally, the money you were planning on pocketing from selling this house. You were gonna hog it all to yourself, weren't you? From your own husband, no less. You need to get your head examined, woman.
Hog it all to myself? What are you talking about? Yeah, I did get some inheritance money, but I already put it away in a savings account to help us get by when we retire. But compensation from the accident? I didn't freaking want any compensation, Trevor. All I want is to walk again. I'm in a wheelchair, and all you're harping on about is money, for goodness sake. And I'm the one who needs to get my head examined? You're sick. I had no intention of selling the house in the first place, but you seem to have this idea of me as a kind of scheming money grubber.
I talked to my mom, too. She thinks me and you should get a divorce. And you know what? I agree.
Huh?
We had to address the elephant in the room. You can't have kids, can you? Your womb is more barren than the Sahara Desert, babe. Now, here's the crux of the issue. I like kids. I want some of my own someday. If you can't give me what I want, I think I have pretty solid grounds to divorce you on.
Oh my god. You're horrible.
Listen, Clarissa, I know you're going through a lot right now, and I feel awful dropping a bomb on you like this. But you're not the only one done hard by this. I've been putting up with an awful lot of crap from you myself. You've never helped me or my family out, despite the fact that your dad made a lot of money in real estate. All while you knew we were struggling financially. Don't you think that's horrible? You're hardly a saint, are you? Then there's your unhealthy obsession with saving money. Constantly whining at me when I want to blow some steam by heading down to the casino or going on holiday every now and then.
Why would my dad have any obligation to help you? Our finances are our finances, and his were his. Surely we should get by somehow on our own without expecting handouts.
Look, there it is! That right there, that's exactly what I mean! Our standard of living should be a hell of a lot higher than it is right now.
What the hell? I don't even recognize you anymore, Trevor. Where did this hateful man come from? I can't believe you're saying all this to me when my dad's barely been gone a few months.
I guess that's just the kind of guy I am. It's not my fault you had your head in the sand. Anyway, I'm taking the house when we split your asset. Shouldn't be a problem if you can't live there yourself anyway, right?
Huh?
If you can't live there, the only thing for it is for me and my mom to have it all to ourselves. Aren't you forgetting a little something? I'm waiting. Any moment now. Congratulations on the new house, honey. Right? I'm sure you're gonna say it. Any moment now. Oh yeah, and my mom absolutely loves the place. She said she could see herself living here for the rest of her life. She's staying in what would have been your room if you weren't such a tightwad. Realistically though, a detached house would be no good for you, what with not being able to walk and being in a wheelchair and all.
I see. There's one last thing I feel I have a duty to tell you. I haven't lived in that house once.
Huh? You never lived here? Why not? You're lying, right? Why would you lie about something so trivial? Kinda sad. It looks like it's been cleaned recently. Everything is so shiny. Besides, there's furniture too.
All I do is clean it once every few months. Want to know why? Because a spirit medium advised me to. It's haunted. Someone was murdered in that house.
Murdered? So someone was here?
That's right.
Cut it out! You really think I'm gonna fall for something like that? You're so transparent! Everything's so clean and well maintained, it looks brand new! There aren't any stains or anything! It doesn't have that kind of atmosphere at all.
Because my dad had it renovated and all of the traces of that day removed. Feel free to investigate it on the internet if you don't believe me.
Okay, you're right. I did find some stuff, but so what? Just because someone got murdered here doesn't mean no one can live here ever again. Right? That's crazy talk, right? Babe, that is crazy talk, isn't it?
Normally, it would be. But that house is different. I didn't believe it myself either the first time my dad told me this. But apparently, everyone who lives in that house ends up losing their minds. The old owner could feel something happening inside him, and he was so terrified that he spoke to my dad, who was a close friend of his. My dad had ties to several spirit mediums due to his old job, and ultimately agreed to take the place off his friend's hands, thinking he could manage it from a safe distance. But all of his efforts to deal with the problem while he was alive failed.
What? So what the hell am I supposed to do?
Oh, I take it you believe me now then?
No! I never said I believe you. It's still crazy talk. A haunted house? Give me a break. You think real life is some kind of movie?
Now that you mention it, Trevor, I do seem to have a faint recollection of you being absolutely terrified of horror movies and dark, grisly things in general. That's why I went out of my way not to tell you.
I'm not afraid. Like I'd be afraid of things like that. It all depends on how you look at things. A matter of perspective. I found some articles about it on the net, and the murder was 20 years ago. Ancient history doesn't faze me. I'm not scared at all. I think you really should get your head examined if you actually believe in haunted houses. To think you actually paid good money to keep an empty house clean on the advice of a spirit medium in this day and age. Are you all right in the head? There are meds you could take for this, you know.
Now that I'm over the shock of you being brazen enough to move in with your mom behind my back, I'm actually kind of relieved. I don't care what happens to you if it means I can finally get rid of the place. You can have it, Trevor. The house is yours. If we get a divorce on top of that, you'll have everything you wanted.
That's right. Even if I do have any problems, I can always just sell it. I'm pleased we were able to settle this like responsible adults. Here's to us and our fresh starts in life. Clarissa? I'm begging you, pick up the phone. Something as strange is happening to my mom. Please! Clarissa! I'm begging you!
I told you not to bother contacting me again. I heard you moved your new girlfriend into the house the moment we broke up, too. Why the heck would I want to talk to you? Chances are you were probably cheating on me since before the breakup. You really are despicable.
It wasn't like that. I just happened to meet her on the day we divorced, I swear.
Anyways, I don't want to talk to you. Would you stop buying new phones to bother me with? I'll talk to the police if you don't cut it out. I mean it. This is harassment.
Don't, please! What am I meant to do? You blocked me the moment I messaged you. I had no choice.
Why do you think that is?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. Please, Clarissa. I'll even pay you compensation. I'll do anything. Please, just help me. I don't know who else to turn to. It's just like you said. You were right about everything.
I'm sure you're capable of dealing with it yourself. It's all a matter of perspective after all, right?
That's what I thought. But I was wrong. There really is something strange going on in that house.
That's what I've been telling you the whole time. Oh, you're impossible. You're the one who moved in behind my back, though. You were dead set on it. You were in love with the place.
I already moved out. My mom and girlfriend can't handle all the creepy stuff that keeps happening either. They're moving out soon, too.
Wait, what? You left them both there?
Just for a few days.
You really are the lowest of the low. Just when I thought you couldn't get any worse. They must be so stressed. That said, the last time I met your mom, she did call me a sterile good-for-nothing with no future. So I can't say I care too much about what happens to her.
I'm begging you! I'll do anything! What should I do? Please tell me! Anything will do! All I want is some advice. I've been through at least 7 spirit mediums I found online by this point, and despite them all being super expensive, it hasn't stopped!
That's because most of the ones you'll find on the internet are scammers.
Well, introduce me to the ones you know then! The worst thing is that no real estate companies are interested in buying! I've literally contacted every agent in the state, and they all start making excuses as soon as I tell them the address! I don't know what to do! I feel so lost!
It was a pretty famous incident. That's why my dad was managing it from a distance, by way of showing respect to the victim. No self-respecting professional would go anywhere near that place, so it's no surprise you're struggling to find a buyer. You're the one who is so desperate to live there. Clean up your own mess.
Please, Clarissa! I feel like I'm gonna lose my own mind if this carries on! I can't take much more! You know what I'm talking about, right? You heard about what happened to everyone who lived here, didn't you? Why won't you help me? I'm literally begging you here! Have you no heart? I bet you're involved in this somehow!
Sure, we can go with that if you like. I guess that's just the kind of girl I am.
Please! Help me! I haven't eaten in days! Clarissa! Pick up the damn phone!
You're right. Maybe I am being a little cold. Okay, you win. I'll give you one final message. Congratulations on your new home, honey. You really can have everything to yourself now. They might not all have been things you wanted, though. After that, Trevor's mom's behavior became more disturbing by the day. I heard she eventually got taken away in a white van and now lives in a mental institution. I wanted to tell myself I didn't care because they weren't my problem anymore. But I was worried in spite of myself and decided to speak to Trevor about the house one last time. When I say worried, I was more worried someone might end up trying to buy the place without realizing what they were getting themselves into. The truth is, I was skeptical myself at first because it only started out as a scary story that my dad told me. But I was genuinely shaken up when I heard that Trevor's mom got taken to a mental hospital because she was acting so strange. After our discussion, we agreed to keep Trevor's name on the deed, and he agreed to continue to clean the house out of respect for the dead. For the time being, he's going to continue covering all the expenses on the place until he can find someone who will either take it off his hands or deal with it in a permanent fashion. His girlfriend dumped him not long after our last messages, which probably had something to do with the way he abandoned her scared out of her wits in a creepy old house. He also started taking more and more time off of work, and it started to look like he might get fired. But even still, he just yelled at his boss, "No, it's the house's fault." To be honest, I think Trevor only has himself to blame. I had no idea my dad's final wish would turn into this. Being free from my scumbag of an ex-husband now, I think this could end up being a great thing for me. On that note, my doctor asked me out on a date a few days ago. We're going out for pizza next Friday. Could this be what they mean when they say, when one door closes, another one opens? One thing's for sure, I intend on keeping that door firmly locked forever. Oh yeah, there was one more shocking development. As soon as I transferred the name on the deed to the house to Trevor, my legs gradually started working again. I can walk again now, despite being told I'll probably be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I'd like to think it was just a coincidence, but I really don't know.
Hey, Greg. Can I talk to you about Minnie? What's up, Irene? Did something happen? Minnie told me the other day that she got accepted at her first choice of college. Yeah, it's about that. I have to pay the college entrance fee, but I don't quite have enough. Really? Not enough money? For the entrance fee? We're not talking dozens of thousands of dollars, are we? It's about $2,500. I've been paying child support every single month since we divorced, right? Haven't you been saving up? Saving up? $500 a month isn't anywhere near enough. Minnie's got a tutor, so if you just thought for a second, you would know that's not enough. You need to pay me more. I've never heard of having to pay more child support than the court-approved amount. If you needed more money for her tutor, you could have told me at the time. I shouldn't have to tell you. You should be able to figure it out. You've always been so clueless. Fine. So, how much are you short by? I already told you. $2,500. What? You need the whole amount? That's what I keep telling you. But you've been steadily working at the same place, right, Irene? You're really telling me you don't have any savings to contribute? Look, I don't have any. A receptionist's pay isn't all that high. Not all that high. Still. What? You're really going to skimp on money for Minnie's future? How can you even call yourself a father, Greg? I'm not skimping. I'll pay. Can you give me the payment details? Just transfer it to my account. Why? If you just give me the college's payment details, I can pay directly. We won't need to pay transfer fees twice. Plus, I'll save you the trouble. Oh, you're such a bother. I don't have the payment details right now. You don't have them? So you're still not home? I'm doing overtime tonight. Then you can give me the payment details after you get home. What? You don't trust me? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that you've done this sort of thing in the past, Irene. What do you mean, this sort of thing? I'm saying that you started coming home late and spending way more. I don't know what you were doing, but you did just leave Minnie to look after herself for some time. That's not a fair way of putting it. There were so many times I got back from work and Minnie was just eating a microwave meal alone. Minnie was in junior high at the time. She was old enough to make dinner alone. Microwave meals these days can taste pretty good. You were just making a big deal out of nothing. Of course it's normal to worry about my own daughter. It's not about the microwave meals themselves. If you told me you were going to be back late, I would have gone home earlier. Family should help each other, don't you think? You're such a nag. We're not family anymore, so what does it matter? I don't really care what you do with the money that you earned yourself, but think about Minnie as well. I do think about her. That's why we're talking about college fees. Are you really going to use that money for Minnie? It's only right as a parent that you have money saved for that kind of thing for your child's sake. Another lecture? You always were so self-righteous ever since we got married. Who do you think you are? This isn't a lecture. I just want a discussion. But you're making it about yourself, as always. That's why we got divorced. What is there to discuss now? But Minnie is your daughter as well as mine, so we have to work together to do what's best for her. It's too late now, but I regret not having pushed harder for custody over Minnie. I couldn't hand Minnie over to you when you didn't have a clue how to do housework. Children should stay with their mothers. I'd have agreed in the past, but when you're behaving strangely like this, Irene, I'm not so sure. What do you mean, strange? Minnie told me the other day. She says you've been spending way more time out, like around the time we divorced. You're coming home late these days. Are you dating some weird men again? What do you mean, again? You accused me of cheating on you, but how many times have I told you that I wasn't? Sure. At the time, we ended up divorcing without any proof of infidelity. But the fact is that you were acting strange and spending a lot of time outside. So what? Is it a crime to spend some time away from home? And I'm single now. You have no right to criticize what I do. You're not my wife anymore, but you're still a mother. Stop worrying Minnie all the time. Oh, enough! I should have realized not to rely on you. Anyways, text me the college's payment details later. It's fine. I don't need the money. You're useless. Minnie, what are you up to? I'm watching TV. Where's Mom? Not home yet. Again? She normally comes home around midnight these days. Sometimes she comes back drunk in a taxi. I'm disappointed in her. At least there's no one to stop me watching all the reality TV I want, lol. I guess it's fine as long as you're happy, Minnie. Mom told me about the college entrance fee. What happened to that? It looks like she hasn't paid yet. I only have 3 days until the deadline. At this rate, I won't be allowed to attend my first choice college. Don't worry. If Mom hasn't paid by the day before, I'll sort it out. Really? I've been working and saving up, but I was so worried because I didn't have enough. You should keep your own savings for your future. Thanks, Dad. I'll pay you back double after I become an English teacher, lol. I'll be looking forward to that. You've always loved books, so I'm sure you have what it takes. Yep, I'll work hard. Minnie, if you're okay with it, you can live with me while you go to college. My house is closer, right? I'd like that, but I wonder what Mom would say. Mom does love having you around. I don't think that's quite right. Mom just likes having me as proof that she's winning against you. Huh? Winning against me? She wants to prove that she's working hard and doing well even as a single mother. Isn't it like posting pictures of a fancy cafe's food on Instagram? She just wants to prove that she's number one. You're rather perceptive. She hates it when anything doesn't go her own way. Mom comes home late, but she's very strict about my curfew. She even makes me leave my phone in the living room and go to bed by 10 p.m. You're still in high school. She's just trying to make sure you're safe. That's not true. Mom checks my texts at night. What? She's checking all the conversations I have with you, Dad. She always wants to be in the catbird seat in her interactions with you. You know some difficult idioms, Minnie. You're going to be a good English teacher. Oh, the upper hand, right? I guess so. I think Mom is still holding it against you that you started the divorce. It seemed to hurt her pride, lol. That's why she's always desperate to one-up you. There's no winning or losing in life. That's what I think too, but not Mom. Hey, won't Mom get angry if she sees these texts? It's fine. I realize that Mom snoops on my texts, so I delete them when I go to bed. That's Gen Z for you. You're one step ahead of Mom, lol. I'm done with TV, so I think I'll go make dinner. Okay, make sure you lock up safely. Dad, are you still awake? Sorry, I know it's late. What's up? I checked with Mom today, and she still hasn't paid for the college entrance fee. Dad, I won't be able to go to college unless you give me the money. Can you transfer it to my account? I'll do the rest. Why would you text me that? You could have asked me, since I'm sitting right next to you. Huh? What do you mean? I'm in my bedroom. It's Irene, right? Don't you even check that your daughter's in her room after you come home? You should be ashamed to call yourself a mother. What do you mean, ashamed? You have no right to call me that. You're a waste of space, Greg. So it is you, Irene. What's going on? Did Minnie go visit you? Minnie came over because she was worried about the college entrance fee. She said you hadn't paid yet, so I paid instead. Oh, really? I'll get Minnie to stay with me for a while. It looks like she left her phone, so I'll go pick it up tomorrow morning along with her clothes. What? Why isn't Minnie coming home? I'll go pick her up right now. You're going to drive? I bet you're drunk. And? What's wrong with that? Minnie came crying to me asking for help. She said that her mother wasn't thinking of her at all. She said what? She might speak in a mature way like an adult these days, but she's still a teenager. She needs her parents' support. I think about what's best for Minnie, too. Then why aren't you paying for her college fees? Isn't it her dream to become a teacher? What a boring dream. What on earth are you saying? She's a girl, so she ought to have more fun. She's being way too safe and boring from such a young age. Lol. She doesn't need to go to college. Irene, you don't get a pass to say anything you want just because you're drunk. Do you even realize how hard Minnie worked to get into college? You've been watching all that by her side, but now you have the audacity to tell her not to go? Shut up! Minnie's 18 now. She should start earning her keep. When she gets a little older, she can just get married. If she tries to go for a proper career, she'll just end up without a decent man like me. Mow. Minnie's so close to her dream now, and that's all you can say as her mother. Are you really thinking about her future? I am, and that's exactly why I'm saying she shouldn't go to college. I'm not just talking about Minnie's future. What about yours? Huh? Mine? I went downtown to go eat out with a coworker. I happened to see you, Irene. It was 2 days ago. I saw you talking to a drug dealer. There's a lot of drug dealers around there. He was harassing me. It didn't look like harassment to me. It looked like you willingly gave him money in return for something. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you sure you're not mistaking someone else for me? It looks like it wasn't an affair after all. I would have never guessed you had another habit. Now it makes sense why you were always short on money. It's money that I earned myself, so it's none of your business. How do you plan to keep funding this expensive hobby of yours? Are you planning to blow through all your savings and just keep asking people for money? That's still in the future. I'm sick of being surrounded by such a straight-laced daughter and ex-husband. I'm not the kind of person who can live such a boring life. I see you've fallen for their marketing. They just like making you feel special. I didn't fall for anything. He tells me he's impressed by my courage to break rules so I can have an exciting life. That's just drug dealer 101. Why don't you take a good hard look at yourself? A stiff like you wouldn't know, Greg, but he doesn't just say that to anybody. He doesn't see me as just a customer. He respects me for who I am. That's how they stay in business, by making you feel that connection. Most people just pretend to be duped and spend a little money. Who the hell really believes that nonsense and spends their entire life savings on such a habit? See? You're always so self-righteous. You can't push your lens onto everyone else in the world. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I always wished for your and Minnie's happiness while we were married. But you were always just chasing your own hedonistic happiness, Irene. No wonder we weren't compatible. What is this happiness you talk about then, Greg? Don't push your mundane values onto me. I'm the only one who can make myself happy. Maybe for you. But I'm Minnie's father, so I care about her happiness over mine. Fine. You and Minnie can do whatever you want. Go live your boring, unexciting lives together without me. Hey, Greg. How's Minnie doing? She's doing just fine. She's only got a few classes until she graduates high school, so she's mostly working or at home. These days, she makes dinner a lot. That's great. I'm glad to hear you two are getting along. I'm used to taking care of myself after 4 years of living alone. But it was so surprising in a good way to see that Minnie has grown so much and she can do anything. Her cooking is really good. You really seem like you're enjoying your life. Of course. With my daughter living with me, I've been really happy. You must be pleased to have all the freedom you want, right, Irene? Actually, there's something I need to talk to you about. Can I borrow some money from you? You really need to ask for money from this waste of space? I thought you'd be too proud to ask. Lol. This isn't funny. I'm really in trouble here. Well, we might not be family anymore, but you're still Minnie's mother. If it's possible for me to help, sure. Really? So, how much do you need? I need $7,000 today. $7,000? You're that deep in debt? No, that's not it. My dealer needs it. Your dealer? If he can't pay this money today, he'll be in real trouble with his boss. You disappoint me. I said all that, but you're just getting deeper and deeper into this. I tried to stop, but he contacted me. Of course he would. He's playing you for a fool. Don't you understand? But he has big dreams to expand his business in the future, so he needs my help until then. So, you can't support your own daughter's dreams. But you'll even get yourself into debt giving money to this guy? But Minnie has you! This guy only has me to rely on. I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry, but if that's the case, I can't lend you any money. What? Why? Because this isn't going to help you, Irene. Why not? I've maxed out my credit card. I've taken some high-interest loans and I'm really in trouble. Are you going to just abandon your ex-wife in this situation? That's what's best for you. I'll get the paperwork done to change Minnie's address to here. Irene, you really need to get help and sort out your life. Oh, get off your high horse. Don't act like you've beaten me just because you won Minnie back. It's not about winning or losing. You don't mean that. You took Minnie away, and now you feel superior to me because of it. But this all happened because you're such a bore, Greg. You're making it my fault again. But it's true! What is this happiness that you talk about, Irene? Don't push your self-destructive values onto me. What did you just say? You say only you can make yourself happy, but I don't believe that. I feel happiness when my family is happy. Then you could have made me happy. This is all your fault. Why don't we start over so you can fix this? That's not happening. I was right to divorce you after all. What? I can't satisfy your overinflated ego, so I can't give you the kind of happiness that you're looking for. I don't respect you, and I don't feel like you're someone important to me anymore. You're just a pathetic addict who let their life get taken over by this habit. You should enjoy your exciting life riddled with debt and poverty. In the end, Irene couldn't bail out her drug dealer, so he stopped doing business with her. With only her debts left, she started working at a bar and nights after her day job. But this breach of contract was discovered at her receptionist job, so she got fired. I hear she's working a lot to scrape by. Convenience store in the morning, fast food in the afternoon, and bar at night. I guess she's got the exciting life she always wanted in a way by being chased up for her loan payments. Lol. Minnie started at college now. We're both much better at housework these days compared to 4 years ago, so we split it evenly between us. Minnie's a kind girl. She says she wants to reconcile with her mother once she's sorted out her debts and her life. But it sounds like it's going to take more than 10 years for Irene to pay off all her debts. It looks like my daughter and I will be able to live peaceful, unexciting lives for a while.